Hello gentlemen, I've got a treat for you guys today. It's going to be the first battle of a best of 3 in between Black and Mishalka. In this battle we'll be seeing Mishalka using Bo3 and Black using Rome. So faction wise I'll have to give it to the Bo3 because of the big time punishment they can lay down on the Roman cavalry that would try to blunt the charges of the sword follower. For that reason I'll give the edge, I mean also flat out the cavalry they can bring to the field. The edge is truly superior. So let's look at the builds. We have Levy Freeman, that's going to be 4 of them for the Bo3. Then we've got a veteran spear warriors, decked out with a silver chariot. Interesting. Ooh, forgive me, I almost died there. We've got 2 old swords, sword followers, 4 of them, Celtic slingers, 3 of them, 4 horse, heavy horse. Interestingly enough, the old sword is going to be on that side, which means that the side that's holding their weapon there is going to be exposed to the missiles. We tend to see the general, if deployed on the flank, to be really more on the right side for that reason. It's really just so that the missile block chance is optimized. For the mighty Romans, we're going to have, it seems like, 4 Vigiles leading the charge. Then behind that we have 3 Balearic slingers. We see an interesting call there for the cavalry department with the Sakia Extraordinarii. So that's a good unit. I mean, it's kind of, if it wasn't from precursors, that unit would be an absolute monster. But there's just so many precursors that it basically neuters it. Equites, 3 of them, no, 4 Equites, 2 Sakia. Then for the infantry we're gonna get Evocati Cohort. Okay, 4 Evocati Cohort, 1 Veteran Legionnaire. Then in the center we have the Principes. Yeah, that, I mean, okay, it's a strong Roman build, definitely. We do have 4 Equites, which is a good amount of cavalry. On top of that, 2 Sakia. It's a good Roman army, but I would still be a bit fearful to face the Bo3. And the reason being is the following for me, is that it's kind of a no-win, forgive me, early game engagement for the Roman. Because like the best case scenario, best fucking case scenario is Vigiles get charged by a sword follower and you then follow up with your Evocati Cohort. Now that's if it's given to you on a silver platter, but that simply won't happen. The Vigiles are going to get mauled by the Levy Freeman, or at the very least highly damaged by them. Then if the Bo3 has, and which means that the Roman, if you want to make sure that you don't have a Levy Freeman, then blunting your veteran legionnaire against you charging the sword follower, what you're gonna have to do is make sure that those Levy Freemen are taking a beating and dying. We see a beautiful target there by the Balearic Slingers into the sword follower. I love that. Yeah, both sides. So basically that means that you might have to use your veteran legionnaires to win the meat shield engagement so that you don't then get blunted. But then that opens you for, at the very least, a jav volley or shots from the enemy skirmishers. Because I mean, when this happens, what we're going to see is definitely a sword follower, then charging into your veteran legionnaire. And that means you have to micro your veteran legionnaire out. God forbid your Vigiles break at the same time. So it's kind of a no-win. And then the other option is to lead with your cavalry, which are going to be absolutely doomed to precursors. Like, it is their fate if you... beautiful shot there into the Sakia Equites. Beautiful job by the Bo3, which is going to be Mishalka here. And Black is picking good targets as well, I believe, with the sword followers starting to do some damage to them. So yeah, it's just a very tough way to start a fight for the Roman. As per Bo3 doesn't really give a fuck at the end of the day. You can, like, worst case scenario for Bo3 is that you throw a precursor into the Vigiles. That's your worst fucking case scenario. What's up, Ayolu? It's your worst case scenario, but quite frankly, you're still hurting the meat shield. So, you know, it's a tough one. And that's the best case scenario for Rome there. Black retreated his Levy Freeman after they charged into the Vigiles. No, Mishalka, forgive me, retreated. I get those names confused. Oh, that's gonna suck. Yep, big time. So yeah, good move saving his Levy Freeman there. I really like that, which is then gonna allow them. But you see, that's it. Rome wasn't quick enough on the pullout. And listen, that's what she said. That's just me watching the battle and commenting after. So we'll see a beautiful potential there for Rome, because we'll see that Heavy Horse is going to take a beating route, which should leave the flank open for the Romans. I would have rather, quite frankly, see a rear charge there. We need rear charges. Look, even there, rear charge, right away. Go, go, go. No, you see, people sometimes make that mistake. They don't go for the rear charges, but never forget the rear charge applies a melee debuff as well as moral debuff. Now, the sword follower has 65 moral. It is higher than the Chosen Swordman or the Iceni version of them, which only has 55 and really feels the rear charges. The sword follower won't feel it in the sense that they won't insta-route. But you will see a melee debuff against. Go, quick rear charge. We simply won't see that. People want skirmishers too bad. But then, what happens when... I'm sorry, I speak a lot. I just get triggered when I see that. What happens when you decide to chase slingers with just your cavalry is that your cavalry is then at the mercy of the support unit of the missiles. But if you are able to free an infantry unit, you then have a combination of unit going after slingers, and that's really what you got to go for. And even there will... So these are Balearic slinger. Keep that in mind. We'll see Balearic getting cut there by veteran spears. That's terrible. We're starting to see the Romans getting flanked shots, so good play by Michelka so far. It doesn't look too good for the Romans. Even there, we saw the heavy horse going for the Balearic slingers. Now, because it is a Balearic slingers, I'm not going to say anything. And sure, okay, no problem, it's off the battlefield. Although now your cav is getting caught by Equites. A rear charge on the Zivakati cohort would have broken them, which means that his cav would have still been able to pursue their goal of killing the Balearic slingers, plus the support of Oathsorn that could have either went there or went for a rear charge. So try to always aim for rear charges in Rome too, gentlemen. Great player I used to play against a lot, called Hunter from Catcon, a Chinese comrade. Really had the philosophy of going for rear charges above slingers and or missiles, and quite frankly, like archers I could get because they have the potential to completely, utterly wreck your cav in one volley. Quite frankly, I would still rather see rear charges on infantry, and he has proven. I used to be one of those guys that went for missiles quite often, but honestly, this guy changed my mind by just the tenacity of his rear charges. It was just his main focus was that, so especially on a battlefield like that when we see it staggered. Let's look at the stats a bit. So the Oathsorn doing fantastic. 149 kill, a lot of men left. In that pocket of the field, sword follower not doing that much. Veteran legionnaires not doing that much. It was a bit of an underwhelming melee fight, really. I feel like the missiles did a lot of damage to the missiles, to the infantry. Forgive me. Sucks to get that Frinky Pays, eh? I bet those are not the rocks they were hoping for. Crackheads. Forgive me. Yep, tough day to be a Roman, gentlemen. As a matter of fact, tough day to be a Roman general. Die. Oh my god. Wow, it seems like this guy's gonna make it out alive. Alright. So, GG to Michelka. Michelka is a new comer. Again, I hope I said it in the beginning of the video. I'm so rusty at doing that. This is for CC tournament. This is game 1. It's a best of 3. This is the semi-finals. I will then cast the finals as well. I believe Amilcar is going to be the opponent to whoever wins between Michelka and Black here. Results are already out as I'm recording this. I just figured let's try to keep it for people that don't know a bit more climatic there. The final has not been played yet, so yeah, good job by Boy. Tough one for Rome. I fucking hate Roman competitive unless you're like counter picking a faction. But this tournament, by the way, the rules are going to be down below. But yeah, I mean, this tournament has faction pools, so it's not like you can hard counter, I would assume, factions with Rome. Like in a use it, lose it style tournament, it's definitely a savage faction because you can just counter Greeks or whatnot with them. They'll do fine against Easterns as well, in my humble opinion. Although Partey I can give it L, but you just have access to so many precursors. The levies can be quite cost effective as well. Probably not the best call versus Partey, but I'd be comfortable having them against Armenia or a faction like that. Then again, it's still a rough matchup, but you can kind of play with the counter picking there. So I think what cost Rome the game there, Mr. Black, again, this is just me watching, not claiming to be better or anything of the sort. This is just me giving my concise. We've got the issue that Rome had there was just not going for the rear charges and hunting down the slingers rather, or fake. And you know, like the move, like we saw Cav running towards slingers only to be shown threat and then not pursuing. And that all time they were pursuing, they should have just went for rear charges and free up infantry. And if we had seen, Rome had the opportunity to win this with the rear charges, especially in a staggered fight, like it was little pockets isolated, beautiful for rear charges. Let's look at the stats real fast. Equites, not much happening there. One of the cav got a lot of kill. I believe it had charge into shitty spears though, so would have rather seen them charge the back of the barbarians. Auxiliary Balearic Slingers, good job early game. I think the targeting made sense, right, to spread the damage, spread some of the damage on the sword follower. And I stopped there because I would have really rather seen maybe 3 shitty Equites and 3 of the auxiliary cav there for Rome. It's like, I get the 4 Vigiles, but like, man, they literally do nothing. So maybe 3 would have been enough. And like, they don't have precursors, right? And if you're to play with the cavalry, like, because you're gonna have to blunt charges with the cavalry. So instead of having basically what was 4 suicide cav there, go for 3 suicide cav, 1 less Vigiles, and perhaps okay, if you want the Sakie, keep 1 maybe for late game. But even there, I would just go for 3 auxiliary, and these guys become the rear charge factor. Because, yeah, Rome needed that extra oomph. I believe these guys started with Chevron. They have to. Well, then again, no, some of their kills. I mean, the Roman infantry actually did pretty good. The Roman infantry did better than the sword followers, but the old sword just came in as the last nail in the coffin. Speaking of the devil, let's look at Bo3, 181, 193, good job. 1 heavy horse doing fantastic. 1 not, the other meh. I guess they served their purpose. Didn't see a lot of rear charges, but they did on down the auxiliary Balearic, so that was good. Celtic Slingers, I like their targeting early game, recognizing that the Sokia Equites were the only cavalry threat to the Bo3, and just went for it. I like that. Levy Free doing their job as they should. Veteran Spear, 110 kill. Let's put some respect on that name. It's fun against Rome. Cool unit. And the decked out Spear Warriors. That's hilarious with 67 kill. Gentlemen, thank you very much for playing that game. I was happy to cover it. I will be bringing game 2 right away. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye.